Jesus. Holy fuck. Alright, I'm just waiting for anyone to get in who's even hopping in. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Let me know if the music's too loud. And yeah, I'll give it a couple of minutes just for anyone who's hopping in still, and we'll dive on into it. Ah shit, Dimitri's joining. Look at this little cocksucker. Hello, hello, hello. That's crazy. So I'm just gonna do some drawing. I don't know if anyone's even listening, but I'm gonna dink around with theta as it's kind of the topic of discussion right now. What the fuck is that blue for? Jesus. Oh look, I have a listener. Hold on, I'll hop in a voice, Dimitri. I don't know if you want to hop in too. I don't know if you're gonna say any dumb shit, but yeah, I'm just charting theta, seeing what this monster is up to. If you're gonna say any dumb shit, but oh shit.
Hello?
Hello.
Is that your music or mine?
That's mine. Is it loud? And like I can hear myself on your thing, so I can turn it down on my end, but turn me down on your end too.
Is that your music or mine?
Dimitri broke the law.
Down on my end, but turn me down on your end too.
Dimitri, turn me down.
This is like a DJ remix.
It's like an infinite like loop. That's hilarious. So I think people on stream can hear you fine then, yeah? Yeah, I
Is
guess if
that
I'm
the
coming.
DJ?
Yo, can you turn that down though? Seriously, that's so loud. Alright, there you go. No, Alex, let me know if you can. Oh, he left. Okay. Yeah, whatever. Maybe I'll just talk to myself. That's hilarious. Alright, yeah. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, so. I don't know. I'm assuming. Take off your top. Yo, I'm not even like. I don't even have my webcam. I should do something like Bagsy and get like some kind of mask so that people can like listen in. I mean, not listen in, like see me. I guess there's not much to watch, so I'm not doing anything too exciting really. So, RD broke out. What do you mean, ERD maybe? Yeah, cat womeness. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know if you saw about ERD. And sorry guys, I am running one monitor right now. I ordered a new computer desk. The one I have right now at my new house can only fit one monitor, so I kind of have to like, you know, open every single thing on this one monitor. Kind of sucks a bit, but yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, ERD, I don't know if that's what you're talking about, Chappie Adore. Yeah, since down here, I thought this chart looks absolutely beautiful. I still think it looks beautiful. Up 92%. 92% since the breakout, which is like super clean, super awesome. Still looks strong. I wouldn't buy here by any means. I'd wait for a retest of these daily MAs down here, which would be between 21 and 19. 19 would be obviously more favorable. It's the 200-day EMA, and the 200 MA is also right above it. So if we could get a nice wick into 19 sats, that'd be beautiful. I don't necessarily think, yeah, if we get back down to 17, we'll have lost these daily MAs. Even though it's a horizontal, it's kind of iffy. I don't want it going that low if I'm going to get into any kind of position. But it looks good. They're underneath us as support. They're curled upwards. Good amount of volume. Barely got phased by that Bitcoin volatility this morning. So it's like this one gets a big check mark for me. I think it looks great. Hopefully it can fill this gap up to 33, but like I said, I wouldn't buy here. I'd wait for some kind of retest if it happens. Yeah, so I guess that covers the ERD pretty quickly. I was gonna start from scratch. This one could have been caught with just one simple trend line, like that. If you had literally just seen this with the 1, 2, 3 touches right here, and it broke out from there, and yeah, a simple breakout and retest. Breakout, retest would have been that, 90, I think it was 93? Yeah, 93%, so it could be as easy as that, guys. You just have to find the trend lines or the wedges. Can take a bit of practice, but you find them, and there's a clean falling wedge right there. So yeah, I'll leave that as that. Let's just refresh to my old chart. Yeah, see, pretty straightforward. Can you guys hear me okay? Is anyone even listening, or am I talking to myself, or is Dimitri just like telling me to strip down and that's really about it, or what? It's actually, I can probably check. Okay, there's 3 people watching, so that's good. If you guys have any questions or want me to cover anything, like I said, take this off. If you guys want me to check anything out, just like shoot it in here. Or if you have any comments or questions while I'm going through, I'll try to check this often enough so I can answer anything for you. So that kind of covers ERD pretty quickly. We covered it already a couple times. Yeah, other than like the very straightforward falling wedge that we saw. As you guys know, it's best to Throw up some horizontals before you even start anything. That's my kind of number one like go-to like rule, I guess you could say, or go-to like what I go through my standard process. So as you can see, like hits off there, so that's a clear SR level. Hold on, let's see what else we got. And you don't have to be exact. I've gone over this a handful of times. Like, you basically just want to find levels where prices touch multiple times and bounce off of it, whether it be resistance or support, doesn't really matter. So you can see here it's bounced off here and it bounced off here. You can always adjust it a little bit. It's not a perfect science, but you know, as long as you're in like a general area where price has gone before multiple times, there's a high likelihood that it will once again bounce off of it as support or resistance, obviously depending on which side we're on. So bang bang with this 33 sat level. It's the high, like the swing high, as you can see, it goes up, bang off of it, swing low, another swing high, bang off of it. So there's a really, really good chance when we do get to that level, we're going to get a nice hammer once you get into this area, or at least some kind of like bounce off, or you know, resistance, if you will. So you know, it's pretty far away from where we are now, but realistically, MA wise, it looks awesome, and there's not a lot of resistance in our way up until there, right? So that's a clean another 39% if you round that up a bit. So yeah, pretty straightforward. I like ERD still one of my favorites. Yeah, and like I said, bids down here 19, 20, 21 are for buying. So leave it at that. Well, you guys are not asking me questions, so that's good. Well, not good. I want you guys to actually ask me things. It makes my life easier. It allows me to elaborate on things you're confused about, or you know, just want more information on. I'm trying not to go into too many circles. Yeah, so I guess I'll just kind of go through my current watch list. Top was one that I caught earlier. I'm not sure which of you, if anyone, caught onto this, because it was a very brief window, I guess, maybe like an hour or 2 hours or something before it popped, but super like straightforward. I started on the 4 hour. That's what as you guys know, I tend to go between the 4 hour and the daily. 4 hour is where I really like to go, or at least to start with these shitty altcoins, just because once they flip this 4 hour, like the 4 hour MAs, it usually likes to pop pretty hard, exactly like we did here. So I'll kind of elaborate on that a bit. Start with this naked chart here. Throw up some horizontal levels, just where we've respected price. So obviously you can see here, wicked here, bounced here, kind of fell through here, but at least we have a general idea of a zone where price has respected previously. I don't want to make that too obnoxious so you guys can still see, but yeah, this general zone right here, as you can see here, and just all around here, price just keeps like bouncing off of it, or like I don't know, messing around within this area. There's buyers and sellers clearly active within this zone. Where else? Let's mark a couple more horizontals before we dive in a little further. Yeah, probably here. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect, but as you can see, these resistance, like this is a clear resistance point multiple times. Bang, wicks down, basically just fell through here, but you can see we're just bouncing around this area a lot, so it's pretty straightforward, I think. So anyway, as you can see, we're kind of just in this like ugly, well, it was a bit of sideways for a while, I guess, but I don't know, it wouldn't have caught my eye. These MAs look like shit. Clearly lost the MAs here and then just fucking puked it up. So I would have continued to ignore it, and yeah, I don't know, this still looks like shit to me. Like, we're starting to flip the MAs, but they're all as resistance. So the only way I caught this, or the only reason behind why I caught this, was it kind of formed a bottom here. Yeah, no, not even. It still looks like shit. I guess you can consider this more or less a double bottom. Price bounced here, bounced again here. Still ugly MA shit here, but my trigger, or what I saw today, was this 200 MA flip, 200 EMA flip on the 4-hour. It is so overpowered, you guys. Yeah, I think I've stressed out literally a million times, but when I saw it, price was sitting on this 200 EMA. I was like, okay, well, I love this EMA, and you know, you might as well buy on the cusp of invalidation, buy right here on this 200 EMA, and or as close as possible anyway, and then yeah, close on and or exit on a close below. So even if it's only a 2% stop, you know, the upside to our first resistance level is 11%. So the RR in this case is quite good. Yeah, it's about a 5-hour trade right there, so pretty good. There's a bunch of people outside my house. I'm going to have to close the window. I don't think they want to hear about EMAs and MAs and price action. Also steal my edge, steal my followers away. I teach them too much. Yeah, anyway, pretty straightforward, like, scalp idea. It worked out pretty well. It held the EMA. As you can see, they're curling up, super awesome. Then underneath us as support, super awesome. Resistance was 10% away, so it just checked off all these boxes. So you know, it went 23% since that touch. So that was a really nice quick move that we got to play. But there's not a lot of deep thought that went into this trade, to be honest with you guys. It just did that 4-hour EMA retest, and they just looked quite healthy, curling up, and you know, boom, bing, bang, boom. That's it. You just hop in and see what Hyobi has in store for it. Well, let's see if there's any. Oh, no questions. Come on, guys, give me some questions here. Oh well, whatever. So zooming out on hit, still looks pretty damn good in my opinion. Yeah, fuck it, I'll just delete what I had. Alright, well, this one, I can't really, I guess it was a few days ago now. I'll use this replay thing. So, a few days ago now, it caught my eye. I think Krillin might have said something about it too, but didn't give me a chart. He just said, oh yeah, keep an eye on hit. So I was like, okay. Noticed there was, like, price was coiling up here a bit, and there was a clear trend line down that way. Sorry, I might as well go through the normal process. Set some horizontal levels. So here's clear resistance level. When it comes to candles like this with big bodies and big wicks, usually I'd like to do the candle close point, but with such a massive wick, you might as well set another horizontal right at the tip of the wick. Yeah, so right away you can see, okay, these daily MAs here are all as resistance, so that's bad. You think it's gonna just keep pushing us down, but yeah, this I wouldn't have triggered a buy here, but figured, like any trade, if we can, you know, hang around here for a bit, flip this trend line, or break out and come for that retest, we have a nice juicy gap up to that 116 sat level. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, this is where I'm gonna wait for it to flip. Buying in here is a little dangerous because before we flip it, this trend line is resistance, these daily MAs are resistance, so the likelihood of us going up is minimal. And you know, it's the path of least resistance in a sense, is just down. So I was like, okay, screw it. If we do get the flip, I'll buy, but before then it's kind of a no play zone. So right away, that massive green candle outwards, I'll zoom in a bit so you guys can see a little better. This breakout and retest is exactly what I was hoping for. And that's when I posted on Twitter, saw that, yeah, broke that trend line, retesting and holding. Okay, perfect buy opportunity. If it can hold this, then you know, you might as well buy at the cusp of invalidation. If it closes back inside, then we'll exit, and if it goes up, awesome. And I guess another note, these daily MAs that were resistance down here are now flip support, so like that's another big check mark off our list right there. So that's our nice 31% up. Oops, sorry. Yeah, and I'll show you the percent below as well. Oops. I also like to, I don't know if you guys have noticed, I like to set a line just at that entry point as well, just to help keep things nice and clean and give you an exact value there on the side as well. So 31% upwards is our potential, and downwards, I don't really want to close back inside of this wedge, but I really don't want to close below that 200 EMA, which we love so much. So I'd put a manual stop just below that 200 EMA. So that's 5.67% down and 31% up. So that's a clean 6R right there, more or less. Yeah, 5-6R. So big check mark again once again. So this is a very, very ideal setup. That's kind of why I shoved it on Twitter real quick. Well, not before I let you guys know. Yeah, so as you guys probably know, this one went exactly to plan. Oh shit, okay. Now we're back at normal timing. So we got our fill here. We've now gone all the way up to we're exactly at our key resistance right now. So if any of you have a position, sell your bag. Or not, maybe not the entirety of it, but I'd definitely consider taking majority of your position out here on hit. And you might be wondering, okay, Trev, well now that we've sold here at resistance, and we have our Bitcoin sitting in our pocket, well, what the heck do we do now? Well, I don't know if you can see I have an alert here for 90 sats. That's the retest of this horizontal, or I guess our entry point plus the daily MAs, plus the trend line. So this nice 3-tier confluence, checking off 3 boxes, trendline, horizontal, MAs, to get a potential re-entry. So, so for now, no action, but we might not get that swing low, right? What might happen is we'll get a nice flip, and that works too. I'm perfectly fine with that, and then you can buy that retest. So just to be a little more clear, we want to wait for price to close above this horizontal level at 116 that we marked and was resistance, and once it closes above on the daily, we'll give it a nice big check mark. But for now, we consider this a big old doozy hammer, and this could easily, because it's done it 3 times before, right? Why not again? Why not a 4th time? Even a 5th time, because it in a sense rejected here pretty damn hard too. So we'll see what happens, but yeah, we'll I'm gonna keep a close eye on this flip, you know, around the daily close tomorrow, or this alert to go off, one of the two. So that was a super easy, you know, 31% for anyone who is in that. Cool, easy enough. So hope that's clear for you guys. We can even zoom in on the 4-hour. I guess, like, I do always check both the 4-hour and the daily chart. Yeah, and I don't know, the 4-hour MAs look good. This is around the point where we broke out and retested. Kind of ugly price action. That's why I like to stick with the daily. It's just so much more clear a lot of the time. But the main check mark I needed from the 4-hour chart was just having the MAs as support, and as you can see, yep, they're right underneath us as support, looking, you know, extremely healthy. So overall, very good chart, and oops, and I'm interested in seeing how this one continues to play out. But overall, very good. Seller, yeah, I'll check out seller. Yeah, sure. Yeah, Chapiador actually wanted me to do that too, so I think that covers everything for this one, guys. Hopefully that's nice and clear for you, but it's really that simple. You just have to get the eye for it and practice, and honestly, it's easy as that. So, seller, yeah, looks pretty damn similar. I'm gonna try using the compare tool. I honestly don't know it might look like complete crap. Just checking the ERD chart. Come on, get this down here. So this, guys, I don't know if you saw that really quickly. I added the ERD chart, which you saw had a nice falling wedge that's playing out really nicely. That's what we were talking about like 15 minutes ago. Get rid of this. So as you can see, it had this pretty much identical move. So as it swing up, swing up, swing down, swing down, swing up, swing up, down, down, kind of go sideways for a bit, and then ERD smashed up, and it's up 90%. Here, as you can see, we obviously haven't had this nice follow through here. That needs to paint right here. But you know, early days, right? There's no real reason to flip bear on this. My bag's still packed since down here. I've sold a little bit. I've been scalping it on the way up, but hold on, let me get rid of all this. I think you guys get the point with the whole ERD comparison. If you guys need clarity on that at all, let me know, but I think it's pretty straightforward. So yeah, we've had this breakout, like a standard falling wedge. I don't know if you guys saw the date range. It was almost 200 days. 200 days. This falling wedge, you know, took to build and play out, and I don't think that was by chance, and it doesn't look like ERD by chance. That just doesn't really make sense in my opinion. So I'm holding on to my bag. And you guys can see, I don't know if you want me to go over the horizontals, I can, but it's basically the same thing. We built this support level here from one end of the wedge to the other end. This is our accumulation zone, which is where I opened the trade or opened the setup. Caught this one quite early, so we've been filling between, I think we were filling between 21 and 22 or maybe 23, but anyway, just nice little accumulation zone. Had this bit of a scam wick down here, so anyone who got filled here is lucky, but I'm sure that's just a stop hunt, and people who got stopped out are probably really pissed off. Hopefully it's none of you guys. So anyway, yeah, falling wedge worked out well, broke out, retested. We're sitting on some of the daily MAs, which is obviously great. It would be nice if all of them were underneath us, but you know, can't always have exactly what we want. But regardless, you know, there's nice gaps between each SR level, 35%, 20%, 29% and more. So the best way to play this, guys, you know, buy here on this MA retest. Well, you should have your bags already, but if you don't, buy this MA retest of 25. You can even do 26. It might be a little aggressive. I don't think, like, if we get back down to this horizontal level, it'll kind of be ugly, because then these MAs will now be resistance. If we get down here, obviously the MAs will be above us and as resistance, so bad. Yeah. So I'm just trying to think. So anyway, yeah, I'd sell up here once we get to resistance. We might get hammered down, which is fine. Then we'll buy back again down here. But if we flip it, it's just the same thing over and over, guys. If we buy the flips on these, don't be dumb and buy resistance. Wait for the actual flip. I know there's a couple of you who didn't sell on this move at all. Obviously, if this is our resistance point and we didn't get our sells filled, that can be frustrating. I get that. Super important to at least try and keep an eye on your positions as close as possible, and just trim profit on the way up. There's no harm in, even if it's only 10, 15, 20%. It's pretty significant. Like, that's a lot of money added up over time, and if you're compounding on that, it's just going to grow your portfolio even more. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward stuff, I think. So it'll be the same thing over here though, guys. We'll buy the flip, sell resistance. If it gets rejected, then we wait for another swing low to this support level, wait for the flip, buy the flip. Like, it's just a continuous process over and over and over, all the way up. Yeah, just keep doing it till it doesn't work. And it's really how I've made a lot of my money, is just compounding over and over and over on the same position. Because once things start to run, you know, they can really run, as you can see with like theta. Look at this. Look at theta. Just fucking moon rocketing. Like, once it flipped these daily MAs, it just rode them all the way up. And if you sold every big move and then bought the MA retest, sold the big move, bought the MA retest, sold the move, like over and over and over, you'd be making bank. Like, it's up over 166% since end of April, like in a month. And like, that's pretty damn significant. And all you have to do realistically was just hold, but I'm the kind of trader who compounds on positions. That's kind of why we're all here, I think. Cool. All right, you got that? I need to have a sip of my beer. I always do this. I just keep talking, but I don't want to waste your guys' time too much either. Hopefully that's clear though, guys. Seller, going back to seller, I think it's a very good looking chart. I wouldn't rush to sell it. If anything, I'd be accumulating still, just hoping for an ERD type of move, just because of how similar they are and how the structure looks. I don't know, it's too good in my opinion. Okay, let's see what else. Yeah, this little guy. AAC, I am a little, I don't know. I caught some of this move. Let's clear this chart off. I've caught some of this move since the beginning of the year. A little irritated I didn't have more of a focus on it, but still made me a good amount of money. It's up top to bottom 6,900%. 6,950. Can't leave out that other 50% because that alone is significant. Just from, if you had bought in January of this year, if you had just a shitty bag and you said, oh, screw QOB, my bag's only worth, you know, $500 or, you know, whatever, you know, I'm gonna leave it alone, see what happens over time. If you left that $500 alone, you'd have $34,750. Like, that blows my mind. Absolutely blows my mind. So regardless, hindsight, you know, you can always kick yourself a bit. Pretty straightforward. Well, not exactly, not gonna lie. It's not the most beautiful chart. It did ride the MAs. As soon as they were lost, it died and puked up. Bounced off this MA. Don't actually know which one that is, to be honest with you. MA 100 or MA 99, MA 100. Bounced off that perfectly. Yeah, I guess if you just bought every reclaim of these MAs. That's right, guys. I didn't like prep this at all. I'm just kind of looking at the chart and speaking out loud, or thinking out loud. If you just bought every single MA reclaim, you would have done absolutely excellently. Yeah, honestly. So I'll show you guys why I'm talking about this one now, because something that's up 6,900% is likely not completely done yet. The amount of volume of this coin too is absurd. So this one caught my eye on the daily. I think it's a pretty straightforward little layout here. This is where I first played it down here, if you guys can see. All I did was set this horizontal line here. Notice that bang, 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 bang. It just kept being resistance, and you know, that's a key SR level. And the moment that it flipped it, like closed above, retested, boom, I bought it and I rode this bitch up. Oh, pardon my language, but it was such a nice, easy trade. Just hold on to that for a few days as it just keeps going up, and you know, sell on any sign of strength, yet there was none. Like, these candles are full and strong. It's huge volume. I forget where I sold it, somewhere in the, like, not the middle, but you know, in this region somewhere. Didn't catch that weird, you know, last leg up, but still was quite a lot of money. So back on my radar again, crazy amount of volume, building a very, very clean wedge. Like, this is, I don't know, I think this is pretty damn perfect. Like, price is tightening up, respecting these levels perfectly, getting kind of tangled in the, I think that's the 100 MA right there. Yeah, but I think it's just gonna, you know, flip this level exactly like I've drawn. Kind of early to start buying. I bought a little bit here at this trend line / horizontal level, but really not a lot. I'm waiting for that flip, and then hopefully does something similar to this area. If we can just do that all over again, you know, I'm perfectly happy with that. I might even just leave that there for shits and giggles and see if, you know, how that plays out. So yeah, we'll see. But that's kind of my perspective on this AAC coin. It's just printed so beautifully, and the volume's great, and it's gone up so much so far, and it's Acute Angle Cloud is actually owned by Hyobi. I think it has something to do with their smartphone or whatever. I don't know, some shit, but good marketing ploy is just to, you know, pump the hell out of this coin, especially if you own the entire like liquidity or the entire order book or whatever of the coin. You know, why not just keep sending it up and up and up and have, you know, just distribute it on the way up to people. Pretty, you know, straightforward stuff in my opinion. Yeah, so that kind of covers that. There's not really much else to look at it. MAs look fine. They could be better. I wish they were all underneath and like curling upwards, but they're yeah, it's kind of tangled in here, but I think that'll kind of be irrelevant. 4 hours flipped, which is super good. I'll accept this one, MA 100, which I don't know. I don't really know why. I don't know. I'm going to say it's more or less irrelevant, not going to lie. So I think we're going to flip and just go for another leg up, but I'll keep you guys updated on that. Yeah, let's see what else we got. And this one is one Pierre's keeping a close eye on. I think I'm the one who sent him this, actually. I don't know if he had his eyes on it already. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, so I noticed this like pennant. Like, they're all pretty straightforward, guys. You just find something that's building up in a wedge like this, has a swing high, has a swing low, another like a lower high compared to this high, and then, you know, around an equal high or a higher high compared to this high. But you can just see price gets pent up, and with these trend lines pushing together, it's forced to pop. It's these triangles are so effective. I know they can be kind of tricky to spot, but just, you know, just practice makes perfect, honestly. But yeah, we had our standard breakout retest. I tweeted this morning. I guess Pierre sent a message saying, tagging me, and he's like, "Trev, please send this north." So I'm like, "LOL, okay." I knew the chart looked good. I hopped on Twitter just for shits and giggles, and it's popped since. So breakout retest popped since, only 6%, nothing significant by any means. But I'm pretty sure ENJ, Theta, and KNC all like to move together. As you can see, Theta's going on a Mega Moon mission, so that one's kind of like off of our list. I don't know, I'm not in it right now, and I don't like to buy coins that are this pumped. Like, look at that 3-day candle, it's a monster. Maybe if it retested this 2580 level I marked out and held it, just kind of chilled for a bit, but that's a little too scary for me. It might, I don't know. This thing might just ramp up to all-time highs, like Pierre was saying. Oh, that's kind of you. I'm just taking a look at the chat. Yeah, everyone's just talking about Theta right now. Yeah, I don't blame them. It's going for it. So, all right. Well, let's move on to the next one, I guess. Like I said, I don't really have much planned. CTSI caught my eye, and I think for good reason. I'll even start with the naked chart again for you guys. So I was just scanning through, you know, I go coin, you know, I just get a very quick read. Right away, got an eye, okay, white, bang, price is penting up, building a wedge. Okay, well, how significant is this wedge twist? Doesn't have to be perfect. You can tell it's forming a little wedge here. Goes for a high, swing low, lower high relative to this high, and just coils up here. So I'm like, okay, this looks ready to pop. Next, as usual, I'm like, okay, well, how relevant is this? Like, where's the gap to the next resistance level? Is it gonna pop and go like 1%, or is it gonna go for like a nice juicy pop? Like I don't know, what is this worth my time? I guess is the big thing. So I'm gonna mark one here just because it's the monthly open and it has respected this level. One says resistance, and here one says resistance. Kind of tried to hold here as a support, but in a sense just failed and bled out ever since. So you can tell right away this is probably an important selling zone. Let's just mark that out. That's where we want to sell, 459. Okay. So we have our wedge, we have our selling point. Well, how far away is that selling point? It's 15% away. Okay, not bad. Let's mark a couple more SR levels, just real quick. Boom, 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 boom. I don't really want to, spend too much time talking about these horizontals. You can just tell prices respected it a handful of times. Maybe just mark my percentages. So another, oops. Could be a bit of a perfectionist on this sometimes, but I don't want to spend too much time dilly-daddling. Send that up. Let's see, that's a pretty significant gap there. So anyway, guys, so entry-wise, it's a little too early to enter. You could start filling a bag here just because the 4-hour MAs look good. They're underneath us. We're penting up super tight in a wedge. We've clearly stopped downtrending. Just if you mark a trend line, that's actually a really ugly trend line. I don't respect that at all. It looks like shit. So you just mark this trend line here. It's respected a couple times, like here, 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 down here, and here. That right here. Say the word here a lot. Right here is when we broke this trend line, or this downtrend. So we start going up. So that's one check mark to keep an eye on it. 2, we have the MAs underneath us. 3, we're building this wedge. Next is this nice gap up and tighten validation. We don't want to close, below the wedge. Even a close below the wedge would be a clear exit. You can have this super tight if you want to. If you want to have a hard stop, you could, see, it likes to wick, right? So that's when you get into, much more percent. But hard stop, you just don't want to close the 4-hour below this wedge. So pretty tight in my opinion. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Yeah, wait for the breakout retest for a heavier position. Because in essence, it still easily could close below, retest, and like bearish retest, and just go down, which you guys have seen me do in a handful of charts. You long the close below, long the close above, short the close below. Sorry, this isn't absolutely beautiful. So breakout, retest, you buy, close below, retest, you short. Obviously you can't short this coin, so that's, the shorting points are irrelevant, but it's just for like learning purposes. Yeah, so I think that really covers this one. In the standard trading as usual, by the retest, and then you sell resistance up here. Might come back down for another buy opportunity, or we'll flip, like we'll break out, retest this level, and we'll do it over and over and over again. We'll go to the moon. These are the best plays when you can buy this breakout, sell some at resistance, buy when it comes back down, wait for sell resistance again, the flip comes, you buy more, and you just compound over and over and over, and it's like, you can make a shitload of money, like, if you do that over and over again, especially. So one to keep an eye on. Pretty straightforward play, I think. I'm not even gonna edit this chart. I'm just gonna leave that as is. See if you guys have any questions. No? Anything? Come on. How long has it been? 45 minutes? Let's stand for a little while longer. Let's cover a handful. Let's just see. I don't think we've looked at Bitcoin yet. We'll take a quick look. Look at this heat map as well. There's not a lot going on. I was glancing at it earlier. There's no real massive. These are just trend lines. Sorry. There's no real big orders around. There's really not much in our way, at least on BitMEX. So, kind of hoping we, don't make any massive moves, but clear this up a little bit for you guys. So I was watching this wedge, as you guys saw. My main focus was this 200 EMA on the 1 hour. It's honestly really effective on every time frame. As you can see, it's not near us on the daily, it's not near us on the 4 hour. 1 hour is really, I don't know how to explain it simply. It updates or it reacts quickly, I guess is what I want to say. Like, the 1 hour obviously is based on the past 200 1 hour closes. But if the 200 MA on the 4 hour is reflected based on the past 200 4-hour candles, and the same with the daily, and etc. etc. So with this, reacting so quickly, it's obviously going to be closer to current price than higher time frames, if that makes sense. So as you can see, it's holding this EMA for now. I don't know. I'm not overly convinced. We lost this wedge I was watching, so that was a short trigger. We also lost the EMA, which was another short trigger, but now we've reclaimed it, at least for now. Yeah, it's just not screaming bullish to me. We're kind of just in this range, right? If we want to mark this thick line as our range low, because we've respected it so many times previously, mark this as our range high, as we'll even mark it range low. Range high. So, in essence, we retested range low. We did we wicked through it, but without a close below, we're still just tapping range low. So we're still holding on for now. I'm not really sure what the next direction is. Like I said, we're holding this EMA for now. I'm not overly convinced that it's going to hold. So I'm kind of sitting on the sidelines until we hopefully reclaim this wedge. That would be a nice bullish sign to show that bulls have strength. You can see the 4-hour MAs are resistance right here. For the most part, we're kind of tangled in them, to be fair, but once they start curling down, that's a pretty scary sign. If I invert the chart, this doesn't exactly scream that it wants to go down here, right? Like, it doesn't really look like it wants to keep falling necessarily. Yeah, if this was a shit coin, I'd wait for this flip and turning it back down to normal. You can see I'd lean bearish cautiously. So I'm not rushing into a short, but I think that down has the higher likelihood, I guess you could say. Especially with us, we kind of top tier, and we can't seem to hit this range high right now. I know that there was that weird news this morning with that 50 Bitcoin moving from 2009 or whatever. I don't know. That just might be like I don't know, a whale game to try and get price to do some crazy shit. Or I don't know, could be a gimmick, could just be like a way to scare people before we get sent to new highs. I honestly have no idea. Yeah, so it's really about that. Let's just go through my watch list. INS I was watching. I don't know, I wouldn't buy it right now just with BTC uncertainty, but had the retest of this level that I was watching. It actually closed below, so I don't know. I'm not one I'm super eager about. Wow, Lim actually. Lim with a bit of buyback here. I like that. Yeah, a lot of choppiness. I've been selling the swing highs and buying the swing lows for the most part. I still have most of my bag just sitting waiting for any kind of move, but it still looks good. I'm surprised it had such a nice buyback in the past hour, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, the 4-hour MAs look good. Holding this horizontal / entry area, holding this trend line area. Yeah, not much really to report, and the gap to the next SR is pretty high. Like, I would love if we just ramped up and smacked that, even just once. Just go for a quick smack and make me some money. Matic. Yeah, pretty straightforward. It completely threw up hardcore. It likes to do that on big Bitcoin moves. It just gets completely shit-faced. Held this trend line. and reclaim this horizontal. Doesn't scream bullish to me just because, once again, BTC uncertainty. If things are going well with Bitcoin, I'd buy this horizontal at 219 that I've been watching. We'll see what happens. CDT being a bit of a bitch. Pretty pissed off with this one. As you guys saw, this massive falling wedge that Alex caught, I was like, holy shit, look at this. Like, there's just a blip outside of it right now, so it might be too soon. But look at this bastard. Like, it respected it very cleanly, never went outside it. But daily MAs look like shit. Like, you can see they're all resistance. 4-hour MAs also look like shit. So it needs a decent amount of volume to, you know, start reclaiming these levels. And for now, there's like none. So kind of sucks. We saw Bitcoin already, saw AAC already. Yeah, don't need to go over that. Ion kind of sucks. I was hoping this would work out a little better, even though these MAs were as resistance. It still might work out, but I'm not going to do anything until we reclaim out here again. Because as you've seen, we broke out, retested, failed with the Bitcoin move, and have failed to get back out once again. So for all I know, I might just stick around and die. I don't know. So we'll see. RSR. Not much to report on RSR. It's on the daily MAs. We could, I guess, consider this a bull flag. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I have a bag. I'm not touching it for a long time. You could argue that it's sitting on a horizontal. It's a really thick line. Oops. Sitting on a horizontal level, but no action required. Leave it alone. TNB, I've had this wedge drawn for like, fuck, I don't know, at least a month. It's been respecting it, but like, I don't know, haven't been paying much attention to it. It's, you know, banging against this wall again, so it's either gonna have to go for it, or it might break out, fail, and just die. I'm not really sure. I remember riding TNB back in, when did I ride this bastard? Fuck, it was a long time ago, but yeah, I think it was around here, and it just went for a massive spike from, yeah, it did at least, yeah, over 100%. That was, I think it was mainly luck. Yeah, I can't believe this thing's died so much. So, but I guess it's Binance and they're full of shit coins. ONE. Did I go for ONE or fuck no, ONE and Seller. Yeah, see, look how, like, I can't even tell the difference. ONE, Seller, and ERD all look the exact same. Exact same falling wedge, exact same little bit of accumulation. This one went a little deeper down, but still reclaimed the MAs, reclaimed our entry zone. Yeah, and honestly, well, it's either one or Seller, or maybe both will go at the same time, but I think it's gonna go for, you know, a leg soon if Bitcoin at least stays fairly calm, or, you know, doesn't do anything too drastic. So we'll see. One to keep an eye on. CKB, yeah, I was watching this one because I still like the coin, but I was hoping it would break out of this trend line I had drawn, but as you can see, clearly hasn't done so. I set an alert just in case. ZIL. Yeah, I don't know about ZIL. I don't know if it's gonna... want to keep an eye on. I don't have any position anymore, just because I sold all of it, but that doesn't mean it's not good or that I don't want in, but it lost this horizontal level, and as you can see, rejected with these 2 daily candles here. Did I pick the right one? Yeah, so rejected, so clearly struggling to flip. Clearly struggling to flip that 104 level that we were respecting previously. So yeah, this is probably where I'd want to get back in, this level that we've had for such a long time, this 87 sat level. I'm not sure if this MA here will get respected or if it'll just fall through, but hoping ZIL will be a really good long-term bag. I was really hoping it would hold that 104 sat level, and then oops, wrong one. Has some pretty clean gaps between each level. So we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated. No action for now. You know, you could bid that 87 sat level if you want. I should actually set an alert just for like 89 or something. So once it crosses it, I'll be like, oh crap, you know, put my eyes on it. Yeah, I'm just going through my watch list, guys. If you were wondering, I don't know. This one is fine. It flipped the 4 RMAs. Our ideal entry would have been this horizontal level that it kind of kept bouncing off on. It had this stop punt here, to scare anyone out last minute. Reclaimed, and now it's just like kind of going for it. But the volume's kind of shitty, and I don't know. It doesn't blow me away. GSC I still really like. Someone pointed this out. I forget who it was, to be honest, but flip this trend line. It's holding it quite well. Really wicky. I am waiting for the 200-day EMA flip. Pretty straightforward. I don't know if it's going to happen because this is pretty funky looking. But yeah, no action for now. Wait for that flip of that level. Buy balls deep there. But we have failed to hold it twice, so it's a little concerning, but I'm still going to wait for that flip once again. If we flip it for a third time, you know, you got to think we're going to at least get another, like, you know, move up. So we'll see. Play it by ear. It's another one I should set an alert on, but I think I'm keeping a close eye enough on everything. Nav not doing much. I posted this one earlier. Just zoomed out on the daily. Like I could literally just like take everything off. You can see it's just going sideways for a very, very, very long time. The best way to mark it is to throw up some horizontals at the range high, and here at the range low. Yeah, I'm gonna ignore this monster move candle. I put this top candle here, top horizontal based on that hold of support and this loss of resistance here, and the fail to cross it at any other point in time. And I think the bottom one is pretty self-explanatory too. Banged off of it here, banged off of it here. So that's our range. Ideally you want to get an entry as close as possible to the bottom, obviously. You could always set stink bids because as you can see it likes to wick. It's wicked down there twice before. And with Bitcoin volatility, honestly, it's not even a bad idea to set bids at this like 870, even a little deeper if you're, you know, feeling optimistic. But my point of view now, that I mentioned, you can see this 200-day EMA. Well, we've just been downtrending for literally forever. I don't even want to see what the all-time high was. But we found this range for 317 days, a good part of a year now. And finally, after all of these 317 days, this 200-day EMA is coming closer and closer and closer to price, even to like touching it here. So, yeah, so I'm not taking any action now. Might buy on the flip of the EMA. Yeah, that's actually probably a good idea. Once again, thinking out loud, probably buy on the flip of this EMA. And then sell at the range high, which is 25%. And then as usual, wait for the flip to get in position once again, and you know, just keep riding it all the way up. I guess I'll put one there and put one there. Yeah, just keep buying the flips on the way up, guys. Pretty self-explanatory. But you don't want to buy, like right now we're kind of like, get rid of all this. We're kind of just in the range, like in the middle of the range here. If this is the top, this is the bottom. You know, this is pretty much smack dab right in the middle. You don't want to be buying in the middle because our invalidation is pretty far away. Because if we're not exiting until the close below the range, that's like, you know, 30%. You know, that would really suck. So, yeah, and with this EMA coming in so hot, it really doesn't make a lot of sense. So wait for the flip of that. Wait for the flip of that. Just do that over and over and over again. Yeah, KNC. People are hyping up KNC. Maybe the US dollar pair looks better. I'll just do my brief like thoughts on it. See if there's any decent trend lines here. Yeah, I don't know. Looks fine. You could do wick to wick. You can do wick to body, as long as the candles aren't like on the other side of the trend line, if that makes sense. Like this isn't valid because the candles are outside, but as long as the candles are on the inside, even if there's wicks outside, I consider it valid at least, and I always have and always will. Yeah, I'm just trying to. I haven't had this one really charted, so I don't know what to think about it. MA wise, as you can see, there are resistance on the daily, so that's an instant turn off. Might pent up more on this trend line and horizontal level. Could buy the flip of that. Let's mark a couple more horizontal levels. Yeah, and like the gap up to the next SR isn't even that great. 19%. It's not awful, but it's not amazing. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm not. What does the 4 hour look like? 4 hour MA is also resistance, and people are going balls deep into, like, they're starting to flip. But I don't know. I'm not jumping into this one. I know it likes to move with ENJ and Theta, but like, I don't know. One to keep an eye on, but not one to hop into right now. Yeah, went over ENJ already. Looks pretty good. CTSI we went over. Troy is another IEO with the exact same falling wedge. Not the exact same. This one's a little different looking, a little funny looking, but same thing, just back in our bid zone. Might range for a while. MAs are starting to reset, so that's pretty dope. I'd like for them to reset for a little longer just to flip them into support. And then, yeah, you could accumulate here. Why not, right? And then, yeah, wait for the swing high. Yeah, Polly, look at this beast. Oh, I'm so proud of this one. I knew it looked good. Look at this. Built this wedge, clear as day. You had this low here, up to the swing high, lower high. No, lower, no, higher low. That shit fucks with me sometimes. I know what I'm trying to say. This one's a lower high relative to this high, lower high relative to this high. Yeah, and clearly this price is penting up. MAs were kind of wonky here, so I'm like, wait for the breakout, retest. So then the MAs are flipped. And yeah, buy the flip of that trend line, and bing bang boom, Bob's your uncle. Yeah, sell the 200-day EMA because there's really not. You can work that there. So even like selling there, just because price is bonk, like fucked around here a bit, rejected, bonk. Like I don't know, just sell here right below the 200-day EMA. That's still a clean 32%. And then if you just close back inside the wedge, you'd exit. So you could, have it, fairly tight 6% compared to 32%. Another, around a 5R. Went over hit already, looks sexy. ERD looks sexy. D-rep, I'll go over this before I wrap it up. This one was like literally clear as day. I know some of you got to ride this one too. I marked out when we were like down here somewhere. We were just going sideways for days, sideways. So I'm like, okay, well, you might as well buy the swing low at 16, seeing that we're holding it steadily, and sell the swing high at 19. That's just because it's low sat and doesn't look like a lot, that's still 19%. If you can just fill at 16, sell at 19. Even if you're buying at 17, selling at 18, that's still like, it's a pretty significant amount of money if you just, diddle around and do that. But has caught my eye a lot more since we flipped that range. We were there for about, that's not right, fuck. Been here for about 2 months. But right when we closed above, I was like, oh shit, we haven't done that in 2 months. Well, it's game time. So then you buy the flip of this horizontal level at 19 if you can get filled. I think they have a US dollar pair. Yeah, they do. I don't know if they have, yeah, they don't have an ETH pair, so you'd have to go in the dollar pair and find the equivalent-ish. Yeah, just buy 19, even buy 20 if you want to be aggressive, sell 21, 22, 23. But the MAs look good. No real resistance all the way up to this level. Like, even this is minimal resistance. We only hit off of it once, so I don't know how much of a factor that's going to be. I just placed it there because that was like the swing high after bouncing around here. There's not much else going on here. Yeah, and then mark all the way up here. Arguably, you could put it there too at 47. Yeah, pretty straightforward low sat play. Looks good. Good volume, or decent volume, I guess. Yeah, it's a good looking one. I think that really wraps it up. Oh, look at top. Look at this. Just from a simple 4-hour 200 EMA play, 24% in a day. So that's pretty dope. But yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap it up. I've been chatting for an hour. Don't want to go on for too long, but I think I've kind of losing my voice a little bit, but I think I've covered all the main ones that we've been looking at recently. I know there might be a couple others that I haven't touched on, but can certainly do that next week. But I've gone through my standard procedure. As usual, you know, are we uptrending or downtrending? If we're uptrending, great. Set your horizontals. Once the horizontals are done, you're like, okay, well, where can I get an entry? So then you outline your entry and your potential take profits, which are your horizontal levels. You can, you know, maybe highlight it with some coloring. And then check the MAs on the 4-hour and daily. Once that's done, depending on, you know, if they all check off all the boxes, also look for any, you know, obvious trend lines that are being respected, and yeah, that's really about it. I kind of mentioned that all in a really ugly order, but I think you guys got the gist of what I was trying to say. So, like I said, I appreciate you guys for listening in. Hopefully, I've been clear enough. Like I said, I'm trying not to ramble as much. I'm trying to like get to the point and, you know, teach you guys as much as possible. I can as much as possible as I can within like an hour or so. Yeah. So if anyone wants any help with anything more specific or clarification, DMs are always open for you guys. Appreciate you all an absolute shit ton. Thank you for putting up with my I don't know, my antics, I guess you could say. But I think we're doing quite well. Well, very well overall, especially compared to some other groups I've seen. I actually feel kind of bad for those members. Yeah, so thanks again. Speak to you guys shortly. Bye-bye.